I shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh I like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restored I soul. Him leadeth I another part of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Who prepares a table before I. In the presence of our enemy them. Who anointed I head with no oil. My cup runneth over. Surely, goodness and mercy, I go follow I. All the days of my life, may I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Cha. Kadama we grow my be. How my house of Bolisa. I don't know what it was clear for. How I tell you more. Oh, you all done. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Again, here we are not neutral, and we have never claimed to be. Because we are not. We have actually taken sides. The side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. And my name, Black Rasta. Now in every traditional African home there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot, where they are subjected to some really good amount of heating. At the end of the day, they produce sumptuous food in all its palatability for the nourishment of the family in its whole entirety. Now, this is what we literally do here. We pick up ideas from all walks of life, all and sundry, the rank and file of our people, right from the crowns of their heads, all the way down to the soles of their feet. And then we subject these ideas to some crucial forensic scrutiny, right after which we tease out the creme de la creme of all these activities. And then we use that for the development of our people, our continent, our land. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. And remember, we are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram. We are also on X, formerly called Twitter. And on TikTok, we keep ticking and talking with the gracious hands of patriotism. This is the headquarters of the truth. It is the address of the truth. It is the habitat of the truth. This is the jungle of the truth, the foundation of the truth, the hometown of the truth, the bedroom of the truth. This is the truth. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. And we are called Black Empire Media. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. We are more than just excited to do that. My brother, my sister, this is time for the truth. It's the voice of the people. Come here. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. Today we have 5 very important stories we want to share with you. Oh my God, have mercy. At the same time, my brother, my sister, I just want to remind you to please subscribe to the channel. And right after that, you hit on the notification bell. And of course, that will remind you anytime we are on with yet another edition. Remember, we are here Monday to Friday. Oh my God, have mercy. It's another brand new week. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. At this point, it will just be appropriate for me to say thank you so much to all our wonderful sponsors. Now we have all the sponsors that you can think of. by the kind courtesy of the Most High God, and of course you for making us number one. Thank you so much to Tesori Doriente. Oh my God. Now turn every single shower into a royal experience with Tesori Doriente. Now Tesori Doriente is simply a shower gel. It's gone beyond a shower gel. It is magical. In fact, it is powerful. Pour a little bit of it in the middle of your palm. Shake up the bath water. Watch how the foam grows into a rich ladder. Allow it to nourish your skin. It is also an insect repellent. Tesori Doriente. Oh my God. Now watch this. It is soft. It is smooth. It is silky. And above all, it has this long-lasting oriental fragrance. It's like that. Even after 48 hours of that one single bath, you are still smelling like the Garden of Eden. Hey, do you have an interview to attend? Tesori Doriente. Is there a new chick in town you need to mesmerize? Tesori Doriente. Hey, is there a new guy in town you want to show levels? Tesori Doriente. Oh my God. It comes in several fragrances. Yes, remember they are natural. We have Ikigai, we have Karma, we have the Forest Therapy, the Royal Oud, we have the Persian Dream. My personal favorite, the Forest Therapy. I also love the Royal Oud. That's the secret to my very beautiful skin. Oh my God. What are you waiting for? Now, this is Italian technology coupled with African raw materials to give you that premium quality made most affordable. It is proudly distributed in Ghana by Daddy Ash Limited. For bulk purchases and inquiries, please call Daddy Ash Limited on 0244 772599. This is Tesori Doriente. Oh my God. Thank you so much. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushudemo, and here we speak truth to power. Remember, we are also sponsored by the kind courtesy of Millennium Insurance. And when we talk about Millennium Insurance, we're talking about your trustworthy partner. Hey, my brother, not every insurance is an assurance. Some of it is nothing but an expired plaster, which will give you nothing but ultimate disaster. That is why you must stick on, yes, to Millennium Insurance. Now, what kind of insurance do you require? The motor insurance policy, is it third party or comprehensive? Or you want to insure your vehicle against burglary, fires? No problem. Millennium Insurance. Do you want to travel outside the country? You need a Millennium Travel Insurance. We take you in and bring you back safely, loaded with experience. Yes? Personal accident and group personal accident. No problem. And remember, you are covered 24/7 against disability and even death for your family members, and even employees. It's all about Millennium Insurance. Our numbers are on the screen. Pick up the numbers and join this beautiful family of trustworthy partners. Remember, no one person is a preserve of calamity. That is why you must be ready when calamity is here. And only Millennium Insurance will take you through that journey. Please pick up the numbers and join this beautiful family. And can I tell you one more thing? When it comes to claims, Millennium Insurance is number one. We give you your claims very quickly so you can be back on the right footing. This is Millennium Insurance. Oh my God. Your trustworthy partner. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and we love you. We are also sponsored by the kind courtesy of NPA. Now, NPA is National Petroleum Authority. Now, anytime you see that fuel tanker on the road gets involved in an accident, overturns, don't be so much in a hurry to siphon or scoop fuel. Now, the message from NPA is very simple. Stay back, stay safe. Hashtag stay back, stay safe. That is what it is. Your life is worth more than just a gallon of fuel. My brother, my sister, there could be an explosion. Bloggers, news people who get too close could be consumed. Those scooping fuel, those siphoning fuel could be caught in that explosion. You know what to do when there's such an accident? Please, you need your life for tomorrow. You know what to do? Stay back and stay safe, and then you dial these numbers toll free. It means you're not paying anything for that. 192 or 191, or better still, 080 012 3000. And that is it. Everything is everything. Remember, it's toll free. You don't pay for dialing these numbers to report an accident. Stay back. Stay safe. This is a National Petroleum Authority safety campaign. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushodemo. And here we speak truth to power. At this point, my brother, my sister, remember today is a very important day because tomorrow, the 25th, oh my God, have mercy, something important is happening. It's an AI class online. We're talking about a 12-week AI governance course from PATRIOT Solutions. Yes. Now learn AI from the most qualified. Oh yes, the world's most renowned when it comes to AI. And I'm talking about Valerie Clark alongside Patrick Nana Befi. They are based in America. My brother, my sister, they are unrolling a lot more AI courses. Some of them are even shorter than this. But for now, starting tomorrow, the 25th of August 2026, hey, you are going to be studying AI. Now, you don't need to know the computer at all. They will take you through everything, AI, GP governance, prompt engineering, AI agent development, and it's all online. We also have the AI governance, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, RAG, MCP, and you get an AI GP certificate after it all. It's starting tomorrow. Are you registered? I am registered. Register now because there are limited seats. How do you register? You can call the line on the screen, or you can send an email using the email address, or visit the website, or better still, just scan the QR code on the screen and boom, it takes you to the registration point where you click to register. And if you want to study in America as well, they are based in America. They will facilitate your going to America, and that is it. You will study AI. And in these times, if you don't know AI, it means that you are not part of this world. AI is everything. Oh my God. Carpenters are using AI. Yes. Cobblers are using AI. Yes. Watcher sellers are using AI. Artists are using AI. Musicians are using AI. I use AI. How about you? It's all from PATRIOT Solutions. And remember, PATRIOT Solution is your guide to financial freedom. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushodemo. And here we speak truth to power. Hi. Now today we have 5 very important stories to look at. And I can't wait to get into this. One more time, I invite you to please subscribe to the channel. After that, you hit on the notification bell so that each time we are on, you will be reminded to watch. This is where the truth lives. Time now for action. Story number 1. Watch this. AFENYO-MARKIN faces sack and jail as minority loses confidence. Wow. Who is this guy called AFENYO-MARKIN? This is the guy. He is the most uncomfortable politician in Ghana right now as we speak. He has been labeled an extortionist, a blackmailer, a noise maker, emerging from the palm wine bar. These are all his deadly demonic accolades as inflicted on him. He's a member of parliament on the side of the minority, the micro to the umpteenth time minority in parliament that you need magnifying glasses to see. They are so minuscule. They are about 88 in number. My brother, my sister, this is the worst time to be in the side of the minority. Now, AFENYO-MARKIN has been trying to impress the minority by making jokes that are not funny, making jokes with the lives of Ghanaians when Ghanaians are looking for proper schools to attend so they can do away with the schools and the trees. He is busily playing jokes with the lives of Ghanaians. This was the guy who said that, in fact, parliamentarians should have their own hospitals because they are in their own class. Such a dumb. That was what he said. He didn't care about the little children in his constituency who have no access to hospitals. He wants a hospital for himself and his colleagues in parliament. My brother, my sister, Ghanaians rose against this. And the answer he gave them was that they are in their own class. And for that matter, they need their own hospital. This is AFENYO-MARKIN. He's been joking with the lives of Ghanaians all this while. But, as they say, everything that has a beginning has an end. Come here. Now, AFENYO-MARKIN has been talking about Sammy Gyamfi, the gold board's boss. Recently, he started talking about how the gold board lost up to about 22 billion Ghana cedis. And Ghanaians started to fret and sweat. Well, we have an economy that is not doing badly. In the 8 years that these people ruled Ghana, they were such a shambolic government. Ghanaians saw terror. Ghanaians saw how people were giving unprofessional haircuts, all in the name of a certain animal called the DDEP, the Domestic Debt Exchange Program. My brother, my sister, in the 8 years of AFENYO-MARKIN and his crooks in power, we saw wanton thievery. Today, some of them have been arraigned before court and they have started going to jail one after the other. We will not finish talking about AFENYO-MARKIN if we don't mention that he allegedly slapped a policeman 3 times. A policeman on duty, fully uniformed. He slapped him 3 times, but because we live in a monkey's jungle, nothing has happened to this guy. They pretended that they had a certain kind of investigation. From that time, they iced it in the cooler, and everywhere is quiet. If it was the other way around, if the policeman had slapped him once, by now that policeman and his family would have been roasting in the political hell. But no, politicians are bigger than ordinary Ghanaians. They are in their own class. They deserve their own hospitals. These are the people we have voted into power. 22 billion Ghana cedis going down the drain via the gold board. And the gold board boss decided that no, he must speak. And Sammy Gyamfi went out there and spoke his mind. What did he say? He called this guy an extortionist. He called him a blackmailer. Remember, we were the first to draw the attention of the whole country, Ghana, and the whole world to these 2 very important words: blackmail, extort. And we told you that we wouldn't want this to be swept under the carpet. Do we all remember? It was mentioned for the first time on this platform. And remember, I made it clear that as somebody who has studied English literature and even literature in French, when people speak, I go beyond just the topical values of their speech. And I called for an inquiry into the issues. Now, another thing I said when I mentioned these things was the fact that I believe that there must be a probe into the whole thing and that Sammy Gyamfi was not throwing about words just like that. Thankfully, my own very good brethren and friend, Kevin Taylor, my brother, my sister with whom I share a birthday, came out and told us that, you know what Blakk RASTA is saying carries a lot of weight. He's speaking nothing but the truth. AFENYO-MARKIN actually went to Sammy Gyamfi and demanded $1 million American dollars, an equivalent of 10 million Ghana cedis, for him to shut up and also to silence all his minority people in parliament over a certain expose allegedly coming from the IMF. What was the expose? Oh, the IMF has published a certain report that gold board has lost 22 billion Ghana cedis. If we start to talk about it, your government is going to be unpopular. You, Sammy Gyamfi, your job is going to be at stake. So give me $1 million American dollars so me and my colleagues in parliament can sell out Ghana so that you can continue to be in your position. Sammy Gyamfi looked at him according to Kevin Taylor and told him, no, if you have anything about me, just go out there and say it. Whatever I give to you today is just because we are friends and you are in need. But it is not to silence you or to buy your silence. No. According to Kevin Taylor, right after that, he went to the boss or the governor of the Bank of Ghana. And there, he succeeded in one way or the other, getting 1 million American dollars, an equivalent of about 10 million Ghana cedis, from an admirer of the governor of the Bank of Ghana. Today, my brother, my sister, this is where we are. I am glad that I asked for a probe, and it looks like the probe is gone. 5 institutions have been petitioned, my brother, my sister, to look into this issue. The Office of the Attorney General, 1. IOCO, 2. Thirdly, the OSP. That's the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The CID. My brother, my sister, all these, including the IGP, they have all been petitioned to look into this issue. Now, we're told a couple of days ago that the minority in Parliament had summoned Alexander AFENYO-MARKIN to the Parliament so that they would have a caucus meeting. And then over there, it was all going to be about the extortion that he allegedly has been involved in. Now, we have been told that a lot of the minority in Parliament are not too happy about the fact that AFENYO-MARKIN goes around taking money to come and give to them so they could keep quiet, and he allegedly keeps the money. So they had invited him. But Alexander AFENYO-MARKIN quickly put out something on social media saying that it was not true and that the media house that published it must retract and apologize immediately. What did he put out? AFENYO-MARKIN Alexander. He put it out. And he wanted the media house to retract and apologize, or else they will end up in the courts. Watch this. Alexander Kwamina AFENYO-MARKIN, and he's with Joy News. He says, stop the misinformation. Stop the misinformation. Stop the misinformation. Your report that I've been summoned is untrue. On the contrary, ahead of the reconvening of Parliament, I have summoned my colleagues for our caucus meeting, and it's routinely done ahead of every meeting of Parliament to strategize and coordinate our parliamentary business. This is a regular practice of the caucus and should not be misrepresented as anything else. Pull down the misinformation on your website and correct the record. That's what he wrote on Facebook. And then he tagged My Joy Online and warned My Joy Online to take action and pull it down. This is AFENYO-MARKIN. Now the whole of Ghana has been talking about AFENYO-MARKIN. How he allegedly went to Sami Jemfi to try and extort something from him so that he would not talk about whatever. And he himself came out to talk about it again, this time again on social media. What did AFENYO-MARKIN put out? Watch this. And it is clear. He says, over the past week, all manner of insults and personal attacks have been directed at me, apparently in an attempt to impugn my character and divert attention from the substantive questions I have raised. False and defamatory allegations have also been made about my motives for questioning the losses incurred under the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program and the role of Gold Board in those transactions. These allegations are entirely false, and I reject them without qualification. As minority leader in Parliament, my responsibility is to help Parliament discharge its constitutional oversight function. My actions have been guided solely by that responsibility. I have neither acted from any improper motive nor conducted myself inappropriately in the performance of my duties. I recognize that in public life, those who are uncomfortable with legitimate scrutiny may push back. In some cases, they may resort to false allegations, personal attacks, and ridicule in an effort to shift attention from the substantive issues and make the person asking the questions the subject of controversy. He didn't end there. I remain focused. I will continue working with the Minority Caucus to initiate the necessary parliamentary processes for a full inquiry into the reported 22 billion Ghana cedi loss arising from the trading done by the gold board and reflected in the books of the Bank of Ghana. Now, the International Monetary Fund has reported a loss of approximately 1.7 billion American dollars under this program in 2025. Whichever institution's balance sheet carries that figure, it represents public money. Ghanaians are therefore entitled to know who the off-takers were, what discounts were applied to their purchases, or whose authority those discounts were approved, and what fees were earned from the transactions. They are equally entitled to a full disaggregation of the 1.7 billion American dollars. How much arose from foreign exchange differentials? How much resulted from the prices at which gold board bought and sold the gold? And what considerations informed the management decisions behind those transactions? These questions belong in the public record. Now, the minority will continue to place them there in writing and with our sources published so that every Ghanaian can examine the evidence and arrive at an informed judgment rather than merely take my word or anyone else's. He didn't end there. On the defamatory statements made against me personally, I intend to pursue the appropriate legal remedies. Meanwhile, my attention and that of the caucus I lead remains firmly focused on the program, the decisions taken, and the public funds involved. Signed, Osahin Alexander Kwamina AFENYO-MARKIN. He's the minority leader. My brother, my sister, at first he said he will not sue. No legal actions. Now the heat is on. He says he will take legal action. And I'm glad he's saying that. I am utterly happy that he's saying that. Because Ghana rejoices at the end of it all. Is he an extortionist? Is he a blackmailer? Sami Jemfi told us point blank that he doesn't play with words. He's serious. Whatever word he has used on this guy, he means everything. And if he wants to see action, he should deny or take legal action. Come here. Deny or take legal action. Sami Jemfi spoke to Samson Ayenini, my colleague at Joy News. Watch this.
You see, my brother, there are many underlying issues between I and AFENYO-MARKIN that you don't know and those watching don't know. I have appeared on Newsfile many times. Perhaps in this country, I have held more press conferences on political issues than anybody. Have you ever heard me use the word extortion against any of my critics? Have you ever heard me? Why will I use this word now? And why have you not heard AFENYO say anything about that? Or challenge me? Or threaten to sue? So the NPP people talking, there are things you don't know. I will not just, me, I'm a consummate Democrat. I eat and drink debates. I'm not worried.
You call the minority leader an extortion.
Then he says, Obi Antongo de Moka. In this world, the most cheapest thing to trade is water. You went and supervised 4 consecutive years of losses at Ghana Water Limited when you were board chairman from 2017 to 2024. A cumulative loss of 3.3 billion. You were sent to ECG as board chair. You supervised another loss of 8.2 billion cedis in 2024. What on Suaboka? What on Kenya Boka? who you are not asked to meet any onerous bail conditions. Sami Jemfi that has not incurred any loss. It is me who will meet onerous bail
So
conditions.
that's the point.
So
if the audit, even if the audit exonerates you from the claims he makes, but why should you reply in such measure?
No, but that is why I'm saying that just like he can criticize me, he's also not beyond reproach. You get my point? So Sami Jemfi should be criticized. AFENYO-MARKIN should not be criticized. This is not an insult. I am showing you that this is your record. Cumulative loss of 3.3 billion at Ghana Water, 8.2 billion ECG. You are not facing any criminal action and onerous bail terms. Why should you project that on me when I have not made a loss? You see, my brother, there are many underlying issues between I and AFENYO-MARKIN that you don't know and those watching don't know. I have appeared on News Farm many times. Perhaps in this country, I have held more press conferences on political issues than anybody. Have you ever heard me use the word extortion against any of my critics? Have you ever heard me? Why will I use this word now? And why have you not heard AFENYO say anything about that? Or challenge me? Or threaten to sue? So the NPP people talking, there are things you don't know. I will not just, I'm a consummate Democrat. I eat and drink debates. I'm not worried.
You call the minority leader an extortionist.
I'm not worried if you criticize me. Yes. And that is why he cannot comment on that or even challenge me. He cannot. Because he knows that what I said is true. So there are many things that you may not have the benefit of. But let me talk about my good brother.
Businesses.
Maybe tell him that.
Why does he need...
Sami Jemfi reiterating he did not use the word extortionist for nothing, blackmailer for nothing. And that if AFENYO-MARKIN dares him and decides to take this on, then the whole Ghana will get to know this. I can stand on my 2 feet and dare AFENYO-MARKIN. If he believes that he's clean, go ahead. We are hearing so much around the corridors of the gold board. And all of them point at extortion and blackmail. Who has been going to take money? Claiming that, oh, I'm going to sort out my voice in parliament. And everything goes into their own pockets. Is it true? Is it false? Don't we deserve to know the truth? Is it not Ghana that is supposed to be benefiting? Is it just politicians who just sit down there and then they pay each other money to keep quiet over what is killing Ghana? Are you not interested? I am interested and I want to know. The schools and the trees must end. My brother, the dirty streets must be cleaned. The floods at every single drop of rain must stop. Ghana must rise to the level that Nkrumah envisioned. My brother, my sister, this is what Sami Jemfi said. That he stands by what he has said. I've done my checks around the gold board. And my brother, the things around this extortion and blackmail seem to point towards one direction. And we are looking forward to this one ending up in court. So that for the first time, Ghana can smile properly when it comes to some of these political jingoisms and gymnastics. As it stands right now, AFENYO-MARKIN said he was not summoned. And it's true. He wasn't summoned. They had their caucus meeting today. They didn't discuss the extortion at all in their meeting. But as it stands right now, this is something that can take AFENYO-MARKIN to jail. Extortion is criminal. Blackmail is criminal. Now that Iyoko has been petitioned, the OSP petitioned, IGP petition, CID petition, and even the Attorney General petitioned. My brother, my sister, Ghanaians are very serious and they want to get to the bottom of this. If AFENYO-MARKIN is found guilty, he may end up in prison where he will join his very good friend, Chairman Wontumi. And the most interesting part of the thing is this. We are hearing around the corridors of the minority that they are so displeased with what is happening right now. Some people have even started talking. Some of our colleagues go and take money in our name and without our permission, and we don't even see this money. It looks like they want AFENYO-MARKIN removed. They have lost confidence in him. They do not want him to be the minority leader again. A few weeks ago, they were already talking about taking him out. They were not pleased with how he was handling affairs in Parliament. But he ran to Mahmoud Bawumia and he gave him his support and said, I give you my support. And he quickly posted that on his Facebook page, saying that, oh, I have the support of the leader of our party for the 2028 elections. Is AFENYO-MARKIN going to jail? Would he be convicted? Would he go to jail? Would he be kicked out? How about his constituency? Are they proud of this guy? Are they ashamed of him? And to Sami Jemfi, I want to applaud you that you have taken the bull by the horn. He's far older than you. AFENYO-MARKIN, you have taken to the cleanest. My prayer is that you remain resolute. My brother, my sister, you remain very, very, very focused and resolute so that we will see and get to the bottom of this issue. Dash is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. Story number 2. Watch this. Attention-seeking Martin AMIDU backs at MAHAMA again. Attention-seeking Martin AMIDU backs at MAHAMA again. One of the most incorrigible politicians I've seen in my time is this gentleman here called Martin AMIDU. And he's not even ashamed of the buffoonery he keeps unrolling in front of Mount Zion. And I speak to him like this and I feel really bad. This was a man we all had so much faith in. We all believed that he was going to shake the foundations of corruption in this country. Only for him to come in and he wanted all sorts of things for him to be able to operate. In the days, he was even teased that he said his office was not well equipped. Some people said he needed jacuzzis, 1 million air conditioners in his office. He needed a fountain that would come out from the floor of his office so he would have a cool shower before being able to fight corruption. I remember MPA Plus coming out in those days to say that, hey, if you truly want to fight corruption, even if you are sitting under a tree in your village, you can fight corruption. You don't need all the opulence to be able to fight corruption. Why? Is it a retirement bouquet? This is Martin AMIDU. He was a very respected man until all of a sudden, I don't know what kind of frustration has eaten into his head. He makes utterances that point towards one direction. Frustration. Finished. To those who are so young and do not know about this man, come follow me. Run the doors here and watch this. This is Martin Alamisi Burns Kaiser AMIDU. That's his full name. Martin Alamisi Burns Kaiser AMIDU. He's popularly known as the citizen vigilante. In those days, we all called him citizen vigilante. Now I don't know if that name still goes with his persona and actions in these times. He's a prominent Ghanaian lawyer. Yes, you can't take that from him. Politician and anti-corruption crusader. He famously served as Ghana's first special prosecutor from 2018 to 2020 and as the Attorney General and Minister for Justice from 2011 to 2012. He is widely respected for his fiercely independent approach to law enforcement, which often led him to clash with leadership from both major political parties. This is according to Wikipedia, and it's correct. Now, he was born in the Upper East region of Ghana. He belongs to the Bunsa ethnic group. He was educated at the Navrongo Senior High School and then graduated with a law degree from the University of Ghana and later earned a master's degree from Antioch University, Midwest. Now, in the Rawlings era, the PNDC-NDC era, he was a founding member of the National Democratic Congress. Yes, he served as the Deputy Attorney General for over a decade, spanning the later years of the PNDC military rule through both civilian terms of President Jerry John Rawlings, that's 1993 to 2001, 8 solid years. Now, he was selected as the vice presidential running mate alongside Professor John Evans Atta Mills in the 2000 election, which they lost to John Kufuor. Under the Atta Mills administration, he was appointed Minister for the Interior in 2010, before being elevated to Attorney General and Minister for Justice in 2011. AMIDU earned his National Citizen Vigilante moniker after being relieved of his post as Attorney General in 2012 following fallout over a massive financial scandal, which he called the Gargantuan corruption. He introduced the word Gargantuan into Ghanaian political lexicon when he exposed the Woyome scandal, and is a multi-million cedi fraudulent judgment debt paid to NDC financier Alfred Woyome. As a private citizen, he personally took the case to the Supreme Court of Ghana, successfully securing a historic judgment ordering the refund of 51.2 million to the state, and we all applauded him. That was wonderful. So we wanted to see more. So we made him the special prosecutor in January 2018. Yes, that was what happened. We made him the special prosecutor under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Now, his tenure was short-lived. He abruptly resigned in November 2020 following his corruption risk assessment of the government's controversial Ejapa gold royalties deal, according to the BBC. Now, in a scathing resignation letter, AMIDU stated he refused to serve as a political poodle, accusing President Akufo-Addo of direct political interference and failing to guarantee his independence. Following the political transitions of the December 2024 elections, Martin AMIDU operates as a private legal and conflict resolution consultant. He remains a prominent public commentator, frequently publishing detailed essays critiquing contemporary governance. This is Martin AMIDU. Then he critiqued MAHAMA this month. What did he say? AMIDU issued a public critique accusing President John Dramani Mahama's administration of weaponizing state investigative bodies like the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, to target political adversaries while shielding party members involved in the AXA energy bribery scandal. He published an extensive legal breakdown warning that the relationship between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Attorney General's Department had broken down beyond repair following constitutional court disputes over prosecutorial independence. And this was what Graphic published out of his lengthy, detailed editorial that he put out. I campaigned for John Dramani Mahama to win the December 7, 2024 elections because I took the view that he had learnt his lesson from being the only president to have been defeated at the polls after 1 4-year tenure as president of Ghana. The ongoing partisan developments of protecting party members and going after party adversaries are not vindicating me. They put me to shame. Can I read it again? I campaigned for John Dramani Mahama to win the December 7, 2024 elections because I took the view that he had learnt his lessons from being the only president to have been defeated at the polls after 1 4-year tenure as president of Ghana. The ongoing partisan developments of protecting party members and going after political adversaries are not vindicating me. They put me to shame. So when you look at this, you will see a very bitter, big-bellied man. Bitter. That stomach is full of bitterness. Look at how he put it. The only president to have been defeated after a 1 4-year term. He's reminding Mahama that you have been a failure. After just 1 tenure, you were removed. That's what he said. And he came back and supported him. When did he support and campaign for Mahama? After Mahama called him a coward. And after he said Mahama was involved in that airplane issue. Do we all remember? My brother, my sister, at what time did he campaign for Mahama? This was when Mahama was on his campaign. And you told him that he was part of a scandal that involved some American airline and whatever. Airbus. Do we all remember Airbus? Remember Mahama coming back to call AMIDU a coward. And AMIDU coming back to say, come and I will investigate you. It looked like some kindergarten joke. Now, having tried to destroy Mahama's coming back, Mahama was able to override all this and return as president. After being the very first president who went into opposition and waited to be president again, he made history again. Now AMIDU, all of a sudden, is part of this feat. I campaigned for him. How did you campaign? In the shrine? Or did you campaign at night when everyone was asleep? Did you campaign amongst the spirits? How did AMIDU, Martin AMIDU, campaign for Mahama in 2024? Can somebody tell me? How? Did you ever see him on the campaign trail? To the best of my knowledge, he rather did everything he could to subdue Mahama's coming back for reasons best known to himself. Because in the party, he was far higher than Mahama. A very learned lawyer who was once a vice presidential running mate to Evans Atta Mills. Only for Evans Atta Mills to return and say, you know what? I don't want AMIDU again. I want Mahama. I'm sure that was where the rivalry started. But Mahama has returned. He has become president again, my brother, my sister. And this time round, we are seeing the wonders happening. Unlike the other government that put Martin AMIDU there as the OSP, that left us with a legacy of a big hole, which they call the hellish cathedral. Mahama has been able to do so much. He has turned Ghana into a construction site. Where in Ghana do you go and you don't see a new road being constructed? To the point that there's now even a new expressway from Accra to Kumasi, cut through the bush by soldiers. Unprecedented. Yet AMIDU says that, oh, he has put me to shame. As OSP, you couldn't even prosecute a cockroach, let alone a lizard. Instead of shutting up in shame and sitting back somewhere to see how you can return into proper prominence, you are throwing cheap shots at a man who is doing far better than you and has achieved more than you politically. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Now, come here. The part that is most interesting is this. He says Mahama is weaponizing state institutions against his political opponents. That's a cheap shot. Very cheap shot from a pot-bellied lawyer. is sad. You are playing into the hands of the NPP because probably AMIDU was sitting there waiting for a certain kind of appointment, which MAHAMA is not giving him yet. For that matter, he is taking a cheap shot at MAHAMA. Where are the people who are being prosecuted that do not deserve to be prosecuted? As a former attorney general and a man that learned, why don't you bring out a certain kind of write-up to say that, well, I'm expecting this person to be prosecuted, that person to be prosecuted, that person to be prosecuted, rather than that cheap talk. Oh, you are going after the opposition and you are not going after your own people. Where are his own people you should be going after? What are they? You are the learned lawyers. You know who has done wrong and who hasn't done wrong. Then cheaply, I don't know if it's out of frustration or madness, whatever it is, I don't know. And I keep losing it for this man every now and then. Look where MAHAMA was in opposition. He was so broke. He told us that people who even used to bring him things stopped because they didn't believe that he would come back again. His best friends all deserted him. And probably the bitter Martin AMIDU from those days till now still harbored it in his heart. Atta Mills kicked me out and brought him in, a junior like him. Who was he in the party? We were the founding members of the party. This little boy, after all, what? Because he wants to be seen as maybe the biggest ever northern politician. No, you have failed. You got the opportunity. You couldn't make it happen. You ran out of the OSP's office. A failure. Now MAHAMA is doing what he can do. Then you are saying he's using state institutions, weaponizing that against his own opponents. What's the basis? What is the basis? So do us a favor. Tell us, oh, Blakk RASTA did A, B, C, D. He was also supposed to be prosecuted. Oh, Kwesi Pratt did A, B, C, D. He was also supposed to be prosecuted. Blah, 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 blah. Let the institution sit back and look at this and say, yeah, AMIDU has a point. But this is an attention seeker. This man is all about attention. But the more he seeks attention, the more attention eludes him. It's like a man who is chasing bears to catch when he should be creating a garden. Martin AMIDU, I think that, and I've brought my voice so low, the level you have reached in politics, you almost became a vice president. You rose all the way to becoming Attorney General and Minister of Justice. How come none of these political parties is ready to work with you? Greed, entitlement, bossiness. You feel bossy. You feel it is you. If it's not you, it's no other person. You know it all. That is your problem. That is your problem. Ghana doesn't need people like this. They are empty barrels that make the most noise. With all the knowledge in their heads, no, they still sound empty. And I'm sad that he's taking a shot at a man who the whole Ghana is praising. A man who has brought the economy to a level that Martin AMIDU cannot remember the last time we saw. A man who is constructing roads all over the place. A man who defied Papano. A man who defied the dead goat syndrome and returned to be able to grab back the presidency without the help of all the Ahoys, without the help of all the powerful members of the NDC. He walked on his own, campaigned on his 2 feet, fought and won, and came back to be president. The least you can do is to support your brother from the north to achieve so that you both go back to the north and eat guinea fowl soup with kapala, as the Sisales call that. The Gonjas call it kapal fufu. A word to the wise is in Cherpone. Dash it away. It's the black pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here, we speak truth to power. When we return, we got more. Hiya! Wayo! Kai! Shaggy! Wayo!
Sometimes you just need a moment for yourself, a moment to slow down, feel the water, and let the day fade. Tesori is more than just a shower. It's a moment of pure calm, smooth, creamy, and relaxing. With forest therapy, Persian dream, royal oud, thalassotherapy, ikigai, fior di loto, and karma, all in convenient 500 milliliter bottles. There's a Tesori scent to fit every mood, every moment, every kind of you. Feel the lather on your skin. Breathe in the aroma. Let stress melt away and just enjoy the calm. You don't just feel clean. You feel refreshed, confident, and yourself. Tesori d'Oriente. Luxury is a feeling. For bulk purchases, contact Daddy Ash Limited on 0244 772599.
Tesori d'Oriente.
Black pot. Kukushonema.
It's the black pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism. It's the biggest pan-Africanist stroke patriotism channel online by the kind courtesy of you. It's the black pot, and it's the most decent. Here you won't hear Abuakwasia. No, sir. It is where the truth lives. This is the black pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. Now our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. We are more than just excited to do that for you, for free. Absolutely. Yes. This is where the truth lives. Story number 3. Watch this. ABRONYE DC silences NPP MP ringleaders. Woo! Do we know ABRONYE DC? They call him Kwame Bafo. Recently, he was on campaign right there inside the Bono area. And people said the streets were empty. Nobody was ready to listen to him. But the interesting thing is that he has retained his seat as ABRONYE DC. I'm happy for him. Me and him disagree time after time, but I think we have learned to respect the fact that we agree to disagree. He belongs to a party that I don't like. My brother, my sister, and he knows that I don't belong to any political party. That is very true, and I say that with pride. I belong to Ghana. Finished. ABRONYE DC has had his fair share of trials. He's been picked up by authorities here and there because he talks without common sense. When he's talking, he looks like at who has given him what? Who gave him water to drink here? Who put something in his pocket? Then he goes, wah, 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 wah. And then they come and pick him up. People come to make noise. but he goes in there alone. He comes back, does the same old foolishness. They pick him up, take him there, lock him up. The last time that he was picked up, he said he wasn't well. He flew to South Africa and returned and was picked up again. I think from that time, he became sober. My brother, we are growing. You can't continue doing the same old things every time, expecting new results. This is ABRONYE DC. He has said something that has gone viral on the internet. But I look at it with 4 eyes. Not with a third eye. 4 eyes. It's all about the gold board issue. Now, ABRONYE DC and Sammy Gyamfi come from the same region. They have been friends from the days of politics. Sammy Gyamfi may probably have been part of the NPP had it not been some strong storm that blew him away from that demonic elephant and decided to relocate him under an umbrella of grace. Sammy Gyamfi would have still been riding in that stormy weather on the back of an old, haggard elephant. Now, to those who understand Ghanaian politics, let's make it easier. Sammy Gyamfi is a part of the NDC. ABRONYE DC is a part of the NPP. They are both communicators for their party. Sammy Gyamfi communicates clearly in English and also in Twi. When he's speaking Twi, you think that he grew up in the Asante-Hene's palace. And when he starts to speak English, that is when you realize that education is actually very, very much still the key. Whether there's a door or not to be unlocked, it's better to always walk with the key, just in case a door falls from the heavens or from hell. This is Sammy Gyamfi. For some time now, there has been a serious attack on Sammy Gyamfi from ABRONYE DC's party. Now he has to think twice. Should I stand by my longtime friend, Mr. Gyamfi, or go with my party? But looking at it, I have more information. I can speak with Sammy Gyamfi. He will not lie to me. He will tell me everything like a brother. If he doesn't want me to say something, he could just tell me, you know what, ABRONYE way there. It's just between us. He probably listened to Sammy Gyamfi. My brother, listen carefully to what I'm saying. And Sammy Gyamfi told him, you know what? This your leader is not doing this because of Ghana. And he's not doing this in the interest of your party. Do you know how much money I have given to this guy from my pocket? Because almost every now and then, he's at my door. And he has something new. Oh, now who say, I have seen this. If I talk about it, it will be a big scandal on you. But I'm not going to say it because of our friendship. But I'm going to find me this thing. Every time, find me this thing. Until that straw broke the little camel's back. The little 1989 born camel's back. And he said, enough is enough. I won't do it again. So ABRONYE DC is probably privy to a lot of deep information. And ABRONYE DC here, he might have a face that looks silly, but he has a sense that can look into things sometimes. For a reason, I have a hidden kind of respect for him. Unlike some people I don't have any respect for at all because of what they have done to this country. I have some respect for this guy here called ABRONYE DC. Yes, and I know he respects me, despite the fact that we disagree sometimes. That is the beauty of the whole thing. My brother, my sister, Now, Abronye DC, probably gathering all these pieces of information, decides that, hey, let me talk to some of the minority members. Munim say, leader, akwaji say na, ujibi, wanyabi, oh, dabio, hey, dabio. Then the whole minority is in trouble. Was that what Abronye had? Was that what made him angry? And when he sat on his show on Ohia TV, Poverty TV, in fact, it was no holds barred, straight fire. He shook the foundations of his party, targeting 3 people that have also targeted Sami Jemfi. Abna Sare, AFENYO-MARKIN, Kojo Ponkruma. What did Abronye DC say? And I need you to look at his countenance. Look at the energy with which he's delivering. Look at the genuineness with which he's talking. And finally, observe the anger. Watch this.
Port no loss na ba no ye baba ye no Sami Jamfi Ghana for enhu the benefit of the domestic gold purchase program no MPP di ba omu so kind gold board at na at 25 at 1140 tia section 2 object of the gold board section 2C I say the section 2C I say the object of the gold board is to support is to support the accumulation of gold reserves by the Bank of Ghana. I say the object of the gold board is to support the accumulation of gold reserves by the Bank of is to support domestic gold purchase program na abano. But I have a say you gold reserves. And no component under the domestic gold purchase program. Na basana ababa ye commodity by the Bank of Ghana and not the gold board. Ababa ye commodity. Bank of Ghana no and the day baba ye adwuma. A commodity. Bank of Ghana commodity. Because domestic gold purchase program no ye dia basa ye ne ye ba beto no ye gold board for ba ye den ebebuo and owo akonta on the Bank of Ghana for ba ye den ebebuo afa gold reserve gold board no they don't account for the gold reserves no mo na account for a Bank of Ghana enti se kwan da ho ne se o yira eseme baba kachira mo say babi amodi ade na ekwo no mo ya yira gold board doesn't account for gold reserves because almost they support the accumulation of gold reserves of the Bank of Ghana nti kwana Bank of Ghana be fasoma gold reserves akosoro no ana ono ne dia ho na oboa nti kabia ba yenko bisa Bank of Ghana na muntie amefo no munim kwana amefo fa so nyansika international monetary fund na da me no mo problem no mo won say wo mo establish IMF 1944 tama ye establish IMF 1944 no e kwana IMF wo fa so nyansika ni.
This is Abronye DC. For a man to stand against the stance of his party is not that easy. Now the minority leader is the voice of the NPP in parliament. Whatever the NPP does not endorse, the minority in parliament led by the minority leader, cannot utter that in parliament. Yes, Abronye DC has done his very best to be able to articulate how the IMF was formed. When it was formed, though, there are some inaccuracies, left, right, and center, and you can always give it to him. Abronye DC is not that historian that you want to listen to, but at least he has made his point. My brother, my sister, Abronye DC said the IMF was founded in 1944. That's what he said. 1944. And he's correct. But we all know, if you are looking for history lessons, that's not who to go to. But he has taken his time to go into it and look at it, and then he brings you some kind of delivery. That means he took time to be able to even understand what the gold board, whatever is. And he told you, amid a bit of inaccuracy, that it is just supposed to help accumulate gold. That's all. The gold board does more than just that. But the point has been made. What my party in parliament is championing, from where I sit, it is individualistic. It is selfish. I want to say that it is one man who is pushing his own ego, maybe for egotistical reasons, selfish reasons, via what the gold boss said, blackmail and extortion. Since Abronye said this, his party members have called him to congratulate him, including some MPs who are not happy with AFENYO-MARKIN. They are praising him. At least he has spoken his mind. At least he has dared to stand out of that nasty propaganda. What does Abronye DC know that his party doesn't? Watch out, in the next few days, AFENYO-MARKIN will be taken out. And I'm telling you. In the next few days, watch out. AFENYO-MARKIN will no longer be the minority leader. But watch how they are going to do it. It will be interesting. People like Abronye are not happy. Abronye has gone all out. He's the first NPP guy to come out so vehemently like this. You saw the countenance on his face. You saw the energy, the power, the genuineness with which he was saying whatever he said. I've never seen this guy smile or laugh. But even in his anger, you can tell that there are days that he's milder than other days. This is not one of the days. He's on heat. Can we speak the truth for the sake of Ghana? Or do we still want to be party animals, party partisan, and only speak for our parties? We are only thinking about how we can win elections and not how we can change the life of the average Ghanaian. Let's think about this first and foremost. Even Sami Gyamfi said, amongst all the ringleaders, 2 of them have stood out. Abena Asare and then Opon Krumah. He said they are speaking out of ignorance. You won't see any malice, but with AFENYO-MARKIN, he is overly malicious that he could qualify to be Satan's grandson. Is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. Story number 4. Watch this. The real issue with musician Barosky's UK challenges. Now, for some days now from the weekend, it's become a big buzz. One of our own musicians called Barosky, those of you who are in the Gen Z group might not know him that much. Rakia, he teamed up with Oforian Ponsa, came together with Kofi Nti, and hey, in the days, they were the talk of town. This guy was a sound engineer in the studio of Apparatus. He was the one who recorded voices and directed musicians who sing this way, go here, pass here. So you can sink into the rhythm properly. And then they started to feature him. And he came in with that dancehall kind of flair. Because he loved dancehall, Buju Banton. He loved the flow. And sometimes he would flow in a few lines of Jamaican patois. He had dreadlocks. And he, together with the other two, made Ghana so sweet and interesting. They were in almost every concert. They were tossed from one concert to the other. This is Barosky. They run things. That was his other name. They run things. He's homeless. Barosky is sick. Barosky is in the UK. Barosky is not just homeless. He is sleeping close to a road. And there are rodents around him. To those who still do not know who Barosky is, come here. Run the rhythm and watch this. He was born Isaac Obing Mensah, a.k.a. Barosky, or Barosky the Run Things. He is a veteran Ghanaian high life and rag life musician. He rose to national stardom in the early to mid-2000s for his distinct dancehall rag life infused backing vocals, ad-libs, and signature contagious laughter featured on several iconic high life hit songs. He was born in Accra on September 8, 1980. Barosky originally hails from Ashanti Bekwai in the Ashanti region. This is Barosky. He discovered his musical inclinations while attending Golden Six College, a technical school in Latobiokwashe in Accra, where he served as the school's assistant entertainment prefect. He graduated after studying architecture. Between 2002 and 2004, he trained as an assistant sound engineer under the legendary Ghanaian music producer Apparatus in the mix, which sharpened his studio and vocal delivery skills. Barosky became a household name across Ghana after featuring on monumental collaborative hits alongside some of the biggest names in high life. Yes, he achieved instant fame after delivering his energetic rag lifestyles on Kofi Nti's massive hit track, Rakia, and Oforian Ponsa's top charting track, Utolege. And to those who do not know what rag life is the combination of raga, you know, raga music. Coca-Cola, buckle shape, skin off, that's raga. So raga and high life. So that's rag life. Okay? Now he went on to feature on songs for other major artists, including KK Fosu and Barima Sydney. He sent to know Ajibebia. Now, following financial disputes with Oforian Ponsa's camp regarding unpaid performance and feature earnings, Barosky decided to go solo. In 2007, he released his debut 10-track solo album called Ochrewaba. which enjoyed moderate radio airplay. In the late August 2026, a series of emotionally distressing videos and video interviews brought Barosky back into the public eye. Media personality Nana Romeo of OKFM revealed that Barosky is currently living in a severe destitute condition and experiencing homelessness on the streets of Manchester, United Kingdom, specifically Bolton, where I was for a month when I was in the UK in 2005. Was it 2004? In 2004, yes. Dash. Now, a lot of musicians have come together. Media people have come together, including Delay, DJ Nyami, and a few other people to try and raise money for Barosky. But how severe is Barosky's situation? What is really the problem? Watch this.
Abusiafo Nana Romeo nie me ne mukasa mi wo Manchester sesia yi yenu Barosky ene temi nchen aha no da ne situation o mu nie me ahwe se Ghana de obia ni Barosky oforian ponsa Barosky Kofinti. I mean, this trial, we all know them. Na me wo Ghana last year and a madam for ba kwa friend Kofi RASTA. Our UK have friend me say Barosky won in chain. Na Barosky hiamwa. Emma me ne Barosky kura kasa kakra o video. But me fa no cool ti me ne Kofinti kura ka ho asem. Na nse kura keke fosu ba me ho me ne ka ho asem. Ena me ne oforian ponsan so ye interview so me ka ho asem. Na nne na me de mani abehu situation no. Yenu anu ne dabre mu ne ha no oda Barosky na yedim no no neti ono on se san yo henanim still looking handsome, cute and all that. Barosky edi na de wa be pi hasisi why are you sleeping here? For my kono kwa no na enkasa kakra. Oh, cool. No, I mean take the mic close to your mouth.
It's cool. It's cool.
No, said the ba e betunka. Ha na oda minia.
Yeah,
for now ha na oda.
Yeah, for now.
Na udware wan.
I drive it, I'm trying to answer.
Na so unso ka ho kra kakra.
Kakra, yeah.
Wow. Na udi den.
Oh, me di.
I'm for the soto kakra because I only adwuma.
David for now.
Now, do you get in touch with family back home in Ghana? Ache.
Okay.
Ono mu kasa ya che hon.
Okay, yeah.
Dear Moana se si Barosky hu na ye hwe de betim de aboa. What do you need?
I die.
Between a dine is over back Ghana. They in our position here.
I say me coffee no.
Unya Ghana beba won. Nti mo abi betim de aboa ma wa back Ghana bia yan fa mo.
Yeah.
Nti her family bia ne a.
Yeah, na. Na down for kaka no.
Yeah, but down for the minute. Barosky kurumpa yen e wa Ghana ofri.
Me nkani asante.
Nkani asante. Nti akra hin pa na utena pa. Danceman. Yeah. Okay, is quite okay on now for nibidi.
Oh yeah.
Bobby Name.
Asante.
Well, Danceman.
Yeah.
So who's your best friend?
Amodos
one. And then what did he?
Mediocre.
Oh, Barosky. You are talented. Oh,
very cool.
No, don't worry. Yenim.
Yeah.
Yenim. Nyamebe ye ube free situation we wati. Because we our bar, our be kun. Aha hit a biani ha bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we be chile Ghana for? Say something to them.
I feel Ghana for Minister of some of them.
I was saying or say what feel Ghana for. Na onim say nche be hu no fie. Ye nyina ye mmoa de betimi aye bia ma Barosky aba Ghana bia ye nyina ye mmoa. Na ye nuan ntimi mra Ghana na ye nyini free situation we mu he ye around aha no da o he aha na Barosky da abontin aha no da sabi na dwene bonkomo aha no da he aha no da he ne mpabo akra na gu he ne mattress we nsuo to a ebegu so ebefo ebesei.
Well, so this is Barosky, and That's where he lives. He says he wants to return home to Ghana. Now, there's more information. Barosky actually made it to the United States of America. And over there, you know, issues with papers and all that. He had to leave the United States of America, come to Ghana. Whilst in Ghana, there was a chance for him to travel again and then play a concert in the UK somewhere in 2024. Just about 2 years ago. So he went with Oforian Ponsa and all those people. Everybody returned, but he decided that he will stay because before he left, there was a lady he was talking to and she said, oh, you know, I'll take care of you when you come, you know, all that. You know how, you know, artists, we get a lot of favors from, especially ladies. So he arrived in the UK. The lady took care of him. And you know how it is pressure. She's always going to work, bringing money. And then he's just at home watching TV and composing music and not doing really much to earn any money. She got tired and decided to push him out. So he moved from one friend to the other, one friend to the other. And then he fell on drugs. You know, drugs, we don't want to say what kind of drugs because we don't know. You know, though some friends have mentioned, one or two, we'll leave it at that. So, yes, then a lady invited him over to Bolton in Manchester, a place I used to live, at least for the 1 month that I was in the area. And it's a cold place. And those people there, they call them the Mancunians. When they speak, their English is so difficult to understand. Those in London, they speak, you are able to pick up the accent. But those in Manchester, it was always a problem for me to understand them. There was even one woman I spoke to. I said, listen, when your prime minister speaks, I understand everything. How come you are speaking and I don't understand what you say? You know? And she was angry. But that's it. Barosky, according to the woman he is living with, or the woman who invited him to Bolton, where he is right now, he's suffering from some mental issues. And the only way forward might be just to let him come back home to Ghana, where he might be able to get back into the studios and try to get back his rhythm, even though times have changed. The way high life was done in the days when they did Rakia, I'm not too sure the youth now are ready for that kind of style. But a musician is always a musician. A musician can always work his way out. Barosky is returning home. How many more people are looking forward to that bed of roses in America, in England? I keep telling my brethren, a lot of people come to me. They want me to support them to travel. And I tell them, my brother, if there's an opportunity, I would rather love that you travel and go experience something and return home. I'm not going to encourage you to go there looking for greener pastures because there are no greener pastures there. If there's a job that you can go and do quickly and return, like go and sing your songs and make money, go there with some kind of special expertise, do something quickly and bring your money home, fine. But if you keep your money there, you will spend that on bills. Because of that, a few friends who came around me probably thought that, oh, Blakk RASTA is not trying to help anybody travel. See? And then some of them decided to find their own ways. Some of them were able to go out there, and you won't believe it. Some of us, when we travel, we buy them ice cream there. Some of us, when we travel to those areas, we buy them lunch, dinner, and they look at us and marvel. Wow! So you stayed in Ghana, you made it. They wish they had also stayed back. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad to travel. If you're traveling to go and study, that's okay. If you're traveling to go and watch a certain game, to go and shop and return, do some kind of quick business, but don't travel looking for greener pastures. Because those greener pastures are no longer there. And this is where Barosky has found himself. Barosky was not so much of a superstar. He was an artist who featured on other people's works and they made hits. But on his own, he didn't find that much success. I remember some years back, the boss of RTP Awards, then we had a good relationship until he decided to play the buffoonery recently, and we relegated him to where he belongs. What's his name? McKay. He told me, oh, Blakk Rasta, I'm going to manage this guy called Barosky, and he has some new songs. I'm going to invest in that. And I pulled him closer and I said, you know what? I've never said this anyway. I said, you see, you are seeking my advice, right? I'll give you my advice. I don't think that Barosky is that kind of artist who can be on his own as a solo artist. He can be in a group and toast. Like we have that UB40 guy who has dreadlocks. What he does, toast once in a while. Some artists are good at that. But if you let them stand on their 2 feet to make a whole song on their own and go, most of them will be found wanting. It's good for him to be in a group, but to pick him up as a solo artist, I think that you will struggle with your investment. But again, anything can happen. I'm not God. But if I were an investor, I would not put my money in a solo career for Barosky. That's what I told him. This is about 20 years back, if I'm not mistaken. He will know the details. I don't know what happened, but Barosky released it and we didn't hear anything out of that. He was best for groups, best featuring in different people's albums. In Ghana, we have so many such artists. Samini started off like that, featuring. And many people said he couldn't stand on his own. But look at how he was able to do it. Apart from him, I've not been able to see any artist who was also doing features like this in Ghana and was able to stand on his feet. Yogi Dogi, I don't think he was able to stand on his 2 feet like that. And some other artists who might find it offensive when we say things like this. But my brother, my sister, whether he was a hit artist or not, he's first and foremost a human being. Second, an African. Third, a Ghanaian. He deserves all respect and all honor. He must come back in honor. But this is a piece of advice for all of us. Foreign is not a bed of roses. That's why when I go in there, I come back as quickly as I can after my business is done. I don't go looking for greener pastures. No, I go to work briefly and come back, or visit briefly and come back. Because the longer I stay there, the more money I spend. Think about it. Barosky will return, he will be okay, he will find his feet again, and everything will be good. Maybe the best place to take him to when he returns here is the rehab. Then we can take it from there. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonebo. And here we speak truth to power. When we return, we have a final story. Hey-ya! Hey-yo! Kai! Wait! Wayo!
Back and stay safe. The National Petroleum Authority is cautioning the public to desist from scooping or fetching fuel from overturned fuel tankers at accident scenes. Do not get closer to the scene in an attempt to take videos or pictures. Inhaling the petroleum product is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of property. Call the Ghana Fire Service or Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380. Your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority.
Build and new opportunities are opening up. And if you're African or part of the African diaspora, you really don't want to sit this one out, because this could be one of the greatest opportunities for our generation. And before you say, I don't know anything about technology, that's okay. Everyone can learn. Even if you're starting with no background in AI, you could be in the medical field, the financial field, a student, anything or anyone you don't, or just basically somebody looking for new direction. That's why we here at PATRIOT Solutions, a USA-based company, is offering a 12-week artificial intelligence governance professional course, all online. You will learn about AI governance, AI risk. You will learn about prompt engineering, AI agents, RAG, and then responsible AI. The classes start.
Blackpot. Coco show, man.
It's the Blackpot, aka Kuku Show, and here we speak truth to power. At this point, I want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. Please share the broadcast. At the same time, please subscribe to the channel and hit on the notification bell so that each time we are on, you will be reminded to watch. And again, recommend us to family and friends. We are the biggest online when it comes to Pan-Africanism and patriotism. Here we don't do politics, and we are a family. Yeah, man. With all respect. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. We are more than just excited to do that. Oh, yes. Finally, my brother, my sister, I want to say thank you so much to all our sponsors. Hey, yes, Tesori Doriente. Turn every single shower into a royal experience. We want to say thank you so much to Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. Thank you so much also to NPA, National Petroleum Authority. The message is simple. Hashtag stay back and stay safe. No two ways about that. Finally, thanks so much to PATRIOT Solutions. Remember, classes start tomorrow. Oh my God, have mercy. Register now. Seats are limited. Oh my God, have mercy. Be an AI literate so that you'll be able to make your life meaningful and stay away from poverty. And PATRIOT Solutions has something new coming up, and we're going to be telling you about that. In the interim, it's the Blackpot, aka Kuku Show, where we speak truth to power. Story number 5. Watch this. Veteran gospel musician Dinah AKIWUMI, now called Dinah Hobson, speaks exclusively about her divorce. Hey, in the days, there was a very successful gospel artist, and we who were not even Christians danced to her music. Winner, winner, Satan you go lose, oh, winner, 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 Jesus is the Lord, oh, winner, Jesus is the Lord again, oh, winner. Oh my God. That song brought tears into our eyes. I remember coming from a Muslim home. My father, who was a great lover of gospel music, sent for this cassette to be bought from IK shop in Tamale at the old market. And those days, there were 2 songs my father was so crazy about on the album. There was another one on side B, and that one was Onyami Yodumfuo Waba Bedumien Menyami Oyodomufuo. Oh my God. I was only how old? She was just in her mid-20s. 20s. This is Dinah AKIWUMI. Then she became Dinah Hopeson. Now I was in Kumasi. You remember I went to school in Kumasi, right? Tia Amade Secondary School, Kumasi. When Dinah and her husband came all the way to KTI, Kumasi Technical Institute, for a program. And the husband picked up the phone. He was called Reverend Samuel AKIWUMI. And he spoke fluently. He said, oh, Ghanaians, this is one of your own. As for the AKIWUMI, she took it from me. That's my name. I am Nigerian, but she is Ghanaian. But because we are married, she took my name. That's why she's called AKIWUMI. But this is Dinah. And then he introduced Dinah. She came, picked up the microphone, and sang. She had those dimples that we all fell in love with. She was so beautiful. And she still is very beautiful. And those songs have always been in almost every church in Ghana. My brother, my sister, from that time till now. I had the opportunity to interview her when she became the only female to become the president of Musiga, the Musicians Union of Ghana. And before the interview, she told me, Blakk, I know how you do your interviews. I beg you. I don't want to talk about my marriage and my husband. I said, it's all right. And we left it there. My brother, Dinah has finally spoken to a very good friend of mine, Kafu Ide, who I call Raskaf. And she has spoken from the bottom of her heart. What caused her marriage to fall apart? What she didn't tell me as to what magic Raskaf or Kafu Ide used to get her to speak for the first time. She has spoken. Before I play you that interview, the husband ended up at the psychiatric hospital at Pantine, Reverend Samuel AKIWUMI. I remember when we were students at Tia Amade Secondary School, there was a hotel at the back of the school there. I don't know if that hotel is still there. It was called Stadium Hotel. It's still there, I'm told. In fact, some of the evenings, the husband would come out there on the balcony wearing only shorts and all that. And people around there were gossiping that Oyenyami Nipao and so they be Oba Fufo. That was what they were saying. But Kumasi people around the stadium, they like to gossip. Talk about football, which player was sleeping with who. So we students were not too much into that. We'll just listen and laugh. But today when I listened to the tape, Dinah gave credence to some of the gossips peddled around the stadium when I was a student at T.I. Ahmadiyya Secondary School, Kumasi. What did Dinah say in this interview? And I must warn you, it's tearful. He spoke with Raskaf, Kafu Ide, yes, on his YouTube channel, Kafu Ide. Watch this.
I said, okay, you are my husband. Be my husband. I don't want you to manage me anymore. That was it. So it's like I'm ungrateful.
Yeah.
Who knew me if he had not brought me up?
Did he discover you?
He was my husband from the word scratch. But I was singing before
you met him, yeah.
And he would not preach without me singing.
Ah.
So we were family ministry.
Like a team.
A team. A good, beautiful team. Sometimes even if I have to go to stage, he will. Oh my God, that killed me. Hey, I've seen things. He will do all the arrangements, will arrange the interviews, everything, and I am the timekeeper. I will make sure that, once he gives me the schedule, I'll prepare for it. We're a beautiful team. So it's like, so now that the money has come, she wants to leave you. And she wants to, oh my God. So people believed him. People who didn't know that there was this situation believed him. He is believable and he can tell his stories, And the fact that he even went to the press that they should publicize I had left him, that was my biggest pain.
Oh, before that, the president didn't know anything that was happening.
No, I mean, who will know your story if you don't go talking about it?
So he went to the media?
He went to the media, and that was the knife that cut my heart. I was so hurt. I was so hurt. I was so hurt. And then when he came that, well, he has found someone, so he hasn't got money for the divorce, I should do it.
Oh, he said you should go and divorce?
He should, yeah. And then started harassing me. You come, you have to go and do it. I'm going, and it was difficult. So now I had to mourn. The person is alive, but I have to mourn him and let go of him and live a single parent when the person is alive. And people will still ask you about, you are still bearing his name.
And you had a child with him?
Yes.
Okay. How did this whole episode affect the child?
I remember initially, the child looked like him. When I even see his back, his ear, and then I get angry.
They're transferring.
And it's like, this is an innocent 7-year-old boy. Why should I hate him because of something not his fault? I had to literally work myself out of that to love him. It has not been easy.
Yeah.
I tell people the energy you need to separate, you need half of that to keep the relationship working.
The separation energy is wilder.
Come again.
The separation energy is...
It's too much. So use the energy to make sure it works. Mine, it was a disease. We didn't even know what kind of disease it was. So it was inevitable, and my life was at danger. But I will not advise anybody, unless once it is death matter.
There you go.
That one, dear, please. If there's death matter threatening your life, is being threatened, please ask for help, flee. But if there's no death matter in, the energy you use the energy to find a solution to it than try to let go of it, because it will follow you, especially when there's a child in it.
There's always a constant reminder.
Oh my goodness, there's a constant reminder. When you least expect, you know when you don't want to see someone, that's where the
person will appear.
So please save yourself. Let it work. Make it work. Find a solution. Find help. Make it work, because you need quadruple that energy to stay separated.
Diana Hopeson, she used to be called Diana AKIWUMI. I remember there was a day I went to Pantine Hospital there to visit my very good friend, Fidelis Leviel. And then her husband, Reverend Samuel AKIWUMI, was on admission there. And we went briefly to talk to him. And then he told me, please tell Dinah to come and visit me, okay? Since I was brought here, Dinah has never come here to pay me a visit. Tell Dinah. They had been separated. Dinah was trying to heal. The more she looked at the face of this man, the more she remembered all the things. In fact, there was violence. There was a time the husband even said that whilst they were driving to church, he was going to crash the car and kill the two of them because she didn't want him to manage him. So you are my husband, fine. But I don't want you to manage me because you don't really have the expertise. Oh, I've helped you all this while to reach here. You didn't tell me I didn't have the expertise. Now that you have reached, you want to kick me out. And then he also went ahead to say that she was sleeping with some musicians like Sloppy Mike Jamesy. You know, find me a photograph of Sloppy Mike Jamesy. Sloopy. Is it Sloopy? Sloopy Mike Jamesy. S-L-O-O-P-Y. Mike is M-I-K-E. Jamesy is Jamesy. G-Y-A-M-F-I. And he was an established musician who was based in Holland. I spoke with him recently. And he had a song that he lifted off UB40's Tears from My Eyes Keep On Falling. Sem bi kakra mikaya enuntina wayeko. He lifted it directly from something. Will be one of the old, I mean, you know, you'll be 40 songs, you know. And he made it his own song, gave it the high life reggae feel, and it became a big hit. He even also had a big song called Telephone Nkomo. Very big. This is Sloopy My James. Hey, he was stylish in the days. He wore very, very, I mean, trendy things. And he was also a sound engineer, you know, and then Helena Rebels, you know, Diana and all those artists, you know, traveling to Europe will go to him in the studio and try to record one or two things. The husband said that Diana was sleeping with this man. Yes, this was what he looked like exactly. Sem bi kakra mikaya enunti na wayekum. I can't help falling in love with you. You see, the same song, you know, but he took it up and he built it into his own song, gave it the energy that it deserved, and then he gave it out, and it was a big hit in Ghana. See? Then, before we realize, Reverend died. Diana moved on. She had another man by name Reverend Hobson. And together they went for programs. She was happy again. But our very good friend, Reverend AKIWUMI, could not make it. He had mental issues. I'm a man of the dozier. Come here. Let me tell you more about Diana AKIWUMI. Run the dozier and watch this. Diana Hobson, formerly called Diana AKIWUMI, has shared deeply personal accounts of her first marriage to the late Reverend Samuel AKIWUMI, an Assemblies of God pastor who also served as her music manager during the height of her 1990s success. Now, the core cause of the marriage's failure was an underlying undiagnosed medical condition. In detailed media interviews, Diana revealed that her ex-husband suffered from severe bipolar disorder. At the time, neither of them nor the families fully understood the psychological nature of the condition, meaning he did not receive proper medical management until it was too late. Flip. Now, the chemical imbalances from the disorder manifested as extreme mood swings, intense anger, and psychological and physical domestic violence. Despite his deep love for her when stable, the home environment quickly became highly volatile. Diana recounted that she had to endure severe violence in silence while maintaining a smiling public image as a national gospel star. The marriage reached a definitive breaking point when it transitioned from domestic abuse to life-threatening danger. Reverend AKIWUMI threatened on multiple occasions to buy a gun, shoot her, and then turn the weapon on himself. In other words, booyaka, like that. Now, following a program at the National Theatre, he threatened to deliberately crash their speeding vehicle into an abandoned truck on the road so they would both die. Realizing her life was in imminent danger, she consulted church members regarding her safety. At age 27, after 7 years of marriage, she officially packed her things and fled the union to protect both of their lives, subsequently living as a single mother for the next 10 years. Diana described the painful period following their separation as mourning my husband while he was still alive, because his toxic actions were driven by an unmanaged mental illness rather than malicious intent, which had to emotionally process the loss of the man she loved and the death of their shared ministry long before his actual passing. Years after their formal divorce, Reverend Samuel AKIWUMI tragically passed away. Diana has since actively used a platform to advise couples that while relationships should be fought for, no one should ever sacrifice their physical life or safety to preserve a marriage. She later found happiness again and remarried Dr. Emmanuel Hobson, a certified counselor. So this is Diana AKIWUMI. That's how the marriage fell apart, in brief. Now she's telling a story. How many more people are in relationships that are toxic? Are they seeking only spiritual help? You need medical help as well. He had bipolar disorder. They didn't know all that he was doing. They didn't know. He ended up at the Pantine Psychiatric Hospital, crying and begging and telling his story to almost anybody who came and everybody who came to the psychiatric hospital, how Dinah didn't treat him good and abandoned him to die after he had taken time to grow her and help her into a big artist. Today, my brother, my sister, by the kind courtesy of my brethren, RASTA, we've been able to dig deeper into the life of Dinah AKIWUMI. And I'm excited that I've come to know the real cause of what the issues were. It's the Blakk pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. Absolutely. I want to say thank you, I appreciate it, I love you. Remember, our numbers are on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. We are more than just excited to do that. Remember, we are the biggest online when it comes to patriotism and Pan-Africanism. Most decent. Oh, yes. Time now to take your comments. Send them via YouTube. They could also come via Facebook. We have Cerise Jasper Johnson. Says, it's great having you here, bro. These are some of the shows we watch to keep us informed to defend our country, Liberia, unlike those unreasonable noisemakers back home. I hope you apply that in Liberia and introduce others to the page. Wow. Liberia, we love you. I love Liberia. Liberia. You see, RASTA. You know, I had a lot of Liberian friends here. When they were at Budumburam, I went there to play a concert there for them for free. I was with Obo. Thanks so much, Obo. He also came to support. I love Liberia. Oh, my God. I had a couple of girlfriends in there as well. And I mean, we used to sit down and tell stories to each other. Hallelujah. Samuel Gokai Hollywood says, wow, very interesting. Mohammed Suleiman says, ABRONYE, controversial man. Roger Adum says, Kevin Taylor called you a barking dog. You are scared of him. You go talk truth. Oh, are you sure? Why are you guys trying to say things that Kevin Taylor would never say? Somebody who is my birth mate, we celebrate the same birth. Why? I don't know where these guys are getting all these things from. Barking dog. When we are on the same mission. Oh, Roger. Minister Nimpone. All right. More comments coming in from Facebook and also YouTube. Hello, Blakk Rasta. Hey, how are you, Patawo? You good? Farouk Dech says, Salam, Blakk. Patawo says, I hope you had a nice weekend. Mark Romeo Fori says, my regards, Professor Blakk. Martin Lawe says, greetings to you, Blakk. You're welcome. And Adimpo Victor says, Godfather, more fire. And then Timbla Baji says, watching with you. Thank you, Timbla. And then Bubakari Dukure. Beautiful name. I love it. He says, Blakk is a patriotic Ghanaian. He only talks the truth. You know me. Unime me. What a thank you. And then Akana Izura says, hi, Blakk. Blessed up watching you live from Torino, Italy. Blakk, even toilet workers are using here. Oh, yes. Alajibun Yurubushal Savalgu says, good evening, Blakk Rasta. Watching you live. Why? Greet Shamima Muslim and the husband Alaji Alasan for me. And then he says, yes, he loves the show. Akana Izura says, Blakk, I told you, how can NPP come to power when someone like AFENYO-MARKIN is still in the party? I wonder how some Ghanaians still have this party called NPP in their hearts. Because, I mean, anything that comes out of their mouth is just corruption, stealing, nyafu didism. Oh, no. Dabi. Okay, we hear you. Lordson Hans says, what is the main reason causing the escape of his finance minister to America? And he refused to show up. If his hands were clean, why not come back? He must investigate himself and first before pointing accusing fingers at anyone. That is why Akwete, I like that name. Breaking news, AFENYO-MARKIN sues Sami Jemfi and others, including some media houses. We are waiting patiently to see how the drama would unfold to its logical conclusion. Shalom. Oh, has he finally sued? Are you sure? All right. Well, my producer is telling me that he has sued. Okay. I'm happy. At the end of the day, you see a point in Tay Jerry George is smiling. Ani Adonani says, Black Rasta, watching you live from Tema. More fire, keep the fire burning. Dr. Nana Abner is smiling. She's full of love. And then we have Kwame Ofusu, the internet Jesus. Kevin, okay, we hear you. Prosper Answer says, fire. And then Wisdom Blasu says, that is the character they use to steal all the taxpayers' money in this country. Very criminal cartel party. The NDC government should not joke with this issue. They should deal with him. All right? Highly favored Gifty says, beloved, please believe in Jesus Christ as the Son of the living God and accept him as your Lord and Savior. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Kwabena Mamu says, IMF should leave Ghana alone. We are Ghanaians. Why allow foreign institutions like IMF to control our affairs? They should leave us alone. Okay? Then we have No Albert. It says, more fire, fire. And then Sia Gary says, fire, fire burn. Answer says, good evening, Prophet. How do Isaka says take legal action on AFENYO? And then why Madja says, Black, you don't recount what Kevin put out on the Gold Board saga with fidelity. For example, he did not say an admirer. I don't get it. Get deeper so we can understand you better, okay? Junior Sally says, the word extortion has been trending on Twitter. What's going on? AFENYO is going on. Bori Issa says, Parliament is a cash cow. Honorable home is used for business. If AFENYO wants his reputation solid, then he should sue. Well, we are hearing that he has sued. Junior Sally says, no one was expecting the minority to discuss the extortion anyway. Corruption is legal in the NPP. Oh, I like that. That sounds interesting. Mens says AFENYO to join in Sawan Prisoners Party, NPP. Wow. Hey, people are wild though. Charles Annie Alfred says, let's not hype the whole issue. We first need to talk about investigations. Charles Annie continues, he says, then the rest can follow. And the JRKB says, with all due respect, the OSP should leave the investigation to the IOCO because it must be done well. And to the bottom, please, OSP, we beg you. Okay? Charles Andy says, maybe for the first time, the OSP wants to do something right. Remember, I said maybe. And then Jack Bida says, Mahama is not ready to fight any corruption. Wafasian says, AMIDU should shut up. He thinks Ghanaians are morons. And an open mind says, oh, Martin AMIDU is, please. Those words, we don't use them here, okay? Samuel Gokai, Hollywood says, wow, I'm watching. Samuel says, wow, very interesting. And I hope my country, Liberia, had patriotic podcasters like you, brother. Or say, that's all that will always put this country first. Well, we are for the whole of Africa, okay? And again, we love Liberia. Oh, Liberia. We love you, okay? Richard Wyo says, watch this. Samuel Hollywood continues, and he says, I live in the United States, but I've been following this picture of 6 years now. And I've also been sharing this show around Africa too. His message is not for Ghana alone, but the whole continent of Burma, Africa, people and... Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing the message for the past how many years? We love you. We appreciate you. God be with you. And remember, as we said, it's for the whole of Africa. Thank you so much. Nana Davis says, your blocks don't indicate that you don't represent any political party in Ghana. Then you are Ghana as you claim. Rather, all your works taint the work of jobs your NDC party is doing in Ghana. Well, you know, opinions are like, so we respect your opinion, okay? Thank you. Kingsley Kojo says, hi, okay. And then Bessie Komla says, Blakk Rasta and sarcasm. He has retained his seat as Abronye DC. You got that one, right? You got it. So, Emmanuel Tay says, Nana Yasasu, I hope you have proved to substantiate what you're saying. And that's Antayo says, even Abronye got common sense past AFENYO-MARKIN now. And then we have Emmanuel Awuni who says, if the NPP doesn't sack AFENYO-MARKIN, he will damage the NPP beyond redemption. AFENYO-MARKIN is a mafia don within the NPP party and uses his position as a minority leader to shake down appointees. Hey. Daniel Tete says, move of fire. At this point, it's just appropriate to say thank you. We appreciate you and we love you. God be with you till we catch you again tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. and everything is everything. Until then, hey, wayo.